All right, it's no secret that things are different in Disney World right now, and you might need to rethink how you travel and vacation. But there have also been some changes to how we eat in Disney World, so we've got the tips and how to deal with some surprises you might not be expecting on your next trip. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. All right, your dining plans and habits may have totally changed over the past few months. Mine certainly have. And that extends even to Disney World. I know I've changed my mind about how I eat in the parks. Even some of the things I've been doing for years just don't work right now. So what do you need to plan for, and what are some of the unexpected things you might encounter when you're in the parks? We've got advice for visiting those parks right now, and we're gonna get started. First thing to note, more dining outside. So it's generally considered safer to dine outdoors rather than inside a dining room at a restaurant right now. Plus, things are sort of starting to cool down in Florida, which makes it a lot more enjoyable to have dinner al fresco. So which restaurants in Disney World offer outdoor dining? You got a lot of options, from full table service meals to quick service and kiosk locations. Here at DFB, we've made an easy printable PDF that you can download for free. Just head over to DisneyFoodblog.com to get it. We'll link the page in the video description below. You'll find outdoor dining options in all of the parks, in Disney Springs, and at the resorts. And a few of our favorites are, of course, Flame Tree Barbecue, which is a quick service spot in Animal Kingdom with plenty of seating outdoors and large portions. Rose and Crown, which is a full-service restaurant in Epcot's UK Pavilion with waterside outdoor dining. Wine Bar George, we've talked about it before, amazing brunch, great eats, snacks, shareable dinner entrees, and of course wine in Disney Springs. And Geyser Point Bar and Grill, which is a lounge-style menu over in Wilderness Lodge with burgers, charcuterie, and more. Great views, you're right there on Bay Lake, and it's all outdoors. So if you want to know more of the places you can eat outside, head over to DisneyFoodblog.com. Look at that link down there in the description, and we'll get you over to the PDF. All right, let's talk about early bird dinners. Restaurants, especially at Disney Springs, are closing earlier than they were prior to the park closures. Disney Springs is now shutting down at 10 p.m., and you used to be able to get late night eats until nearly 2 a.m. at many locations, but not right now. So now dinners in the park used to have to start before the parks closed, but several restaurants do offer reservations after the park's official close, depending on when you're visiting. Now, both 50's Primetime Cafe in Hollywood Studios and Be Our Guest Restaurant in Magic Kingdom have dinner reservations after park close. So you will be able to stay after park close and go to your reservation, but they don't go too far after that closing time. Alternatively, breakfast might be able to start a bit later with parks opening later. And Epcot won't be opening until noon come the end of November, so you'll have a good chunk of the day to relax before you even head to the park. We'd suggest trying breakfast at a resort or Disney Springs. All right, now, no more late night eats. We talked about this at Disney Springs, but it's not just Disney Springs that's closing early. Even quick service restaurants that are typically open 24/7 are closing and closing early. Captain Cook's at the Polynesian Resort and Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian are now only open until 10 p.m. So if you're a night owl, you'll need to plan ahead even more than usual for those late night snacks. Grab a few snacks to keep in your room and have something on hand if you get hungry after your dining options are closed. I know I've talked to you guys before about me sitting super sad on a hotel bed eating a sandwich from a gas station because I was so hungry and I didn't get home until kind of after midnight. And that definitely applies now, because if your food options are kind of exhausted by 10 o'clock p.m. and you happen to be a night owl, then you definitely want to have something in your room. Have some sort of a refrigerated option or something that you buy at the quick service or the gift shop in your hotel and have it in your refrigerator. What I've started to do is get like cheese plates. They have those cheese plates at the resort gift shops now, or something like that, something that has some protein in it, and I keep it in my refrigerator in my room so that I can have it if I get home real late. Most Disney resorts do have a grab-and-go case with cold cut sandwiches and other snacks like hummus that you can pick up earlier in the day if you know you're going to want something later in the evening. All right, next thing I have done differently in Disney World recently, grab all your snacks at once. So this is a tip we use for Epcot's Food and Wine Festival all the time, but right now it can be even more beneficial. Grab dishes from multiple booths at one time so you don't need to find a new clean and socially distanced spot to eat every time you stop and eat. We've been using this tip in other parks now as well. It's especially helpful if everyone in your group wants different snacks. So grab them all and eat them at the same time so you don't have to keep stopping in order to enjoy your treats, because remember, you can't walk and eat in Disney World right now. Disney's requiring guests to stay stationary and socially distanced while they eat or drink, so you'll need to pull off to the side for every snack you want to eat. And with that in mind, be sure to make a plan for how to snack. This is the next thing I've changed my mind about in Disney World. Since you can't walk and eat right now, you're going to need to put a little bit of thought into adding snacking into your schedule. So no more giving the kiddos a quick snack while you're waiting in line. Be sure to check a map to see where to find the relaxation stations in each park as well, because this is where you can sit down, take off your mask, and that's a good spot to stop for a snack. Staying hydrated is also going to be a little more difficult than it is usually, because you can't grab a quick drink on the go. You may not want to be pulling down your mask a bunch anyway, so set timers on your phone to remind you to drink water. I'm not even joking about this. I usually drink a ton of water in the parks, and when I was there with my mask up, it just seems like a hassle to sort of take it down, take a drink. I think the cast members are pretty flexible about you taking a sip of water while you're walking, so they won't make you kind of pull over to the side to take a sip of water. I think that's fine, but it still becomes kind of a hassle to kind of take down your mask and drink your water. So be sure to remind yourself with timers on your phone or something like that to drink your water and stay hydrated. And it may be cooling off in the rest of the country right now, but it still feels like summer in Florida at the moment, and you're still going to be walking a lot, so you're going to need to stay on top of how much water you're drinking. Okay, the next way I've changed my mind about how I eat in Disney World is kind of, mandated by Disney World right now, and that's to mobile order everything. So if you're planning on dining at one of Disney World's quick service restaurants, you're going to want to have the My Disney Experience app downloaded in advance, because mobile ordering is kind of required everywhere. Disney has expanded the locations that offer this contactless method of placing your food order, so you can conceivably use it for all your meals and snacks all over the parks and resorts. If you're paying with cash, though, or if you have special dietary questions, you can order in person. But otherwise, cast members will ask you to order through the app and help you out if you have any questions. Another thing I'm doing differently right now in Disney World is ordering groceries more often. When I was there in July, I ordered from Shipt, which this is not an ad for them. I use them to order groceries from Target to my hotel, and it worked really well. And it's not something I do every trip, but I was in Disney World for much longer than I usually am during that trip, and so I did order quite a few groceries because I did eat in my room several times, and that can be even more beneficial now. Eating breakfast in your room can save you time and money. It can also be one fewer meal where you're encountering a lot of touch points, tables, credit card machines, interacting with your server, etc. And again, plan ahead for these late night eats. Keep some things stashed in your room, save money by ordering or picking up some groceries rather than paying a premium in your resort's gift shop, which I always do, so heads up, you can save some money. And just have overall an idea of how you want to handle when you're going to eat and how you're going to eat when you're in Disney World, even more so than before. DFB has used several different grocery delivery services on past Disney vacations, from Amazon Prime Now to Shipt, like I just said, Garden Grocer, Instacart. They all have their pros and cons, so check them out to see which works best for you. If you have a Target Red Card, you can apply that and get that 5% off if you use Shipt as well. All right, this one's kind of fun. Another way I've changed my mind about how we eat in Disney World is that dinner in bed situation. Breakfast in bed has long been a fun vacation splurge, but you might want to consider dinner in bed on your next Disney trip. Disney recently rolled out a mobile order or to-go option for table service restaurants. With no in-room dining offered at many hotels right now, this is going to be your next best thing to room service. We've really only seen in-room dining offered at the Yacht Club, so this really might be your only option, but oftentimes it's a better option than those room service menus anyway. So takeout is considered safer than dining in a restaurant, but now you can get that awesome Sanaa bread service and the rest of their menu as a takeout dinner that you can take back to your room at Animal Kingdom Lodge or an outside table at your resort. So keep an eye out for more of Disney's table service restaurants to be added to that to-go option on My Disney Experience. All right, so this is good news as well. Scoring a last-minute reservation just got easier. So if you do want to dine in a restaurant, but maybe you weren't able to snag a reservation before your trip, it just got a whole lot easier to find day of dining options. And this is another way that we are really changing the way we eat in Disney World. This is called the walk-up wait list, and it'll pop up for different restaurants if they have immediate availability and you're within a certain distance of those restaurants when you check My Disney Experience for what's available. You'll need to be close to the restaurant to see and sign up for the walk-up wait list, but it's a little easier than keeping an eye on the My Disney Experience app for reservation cancellations, or even stopping by the restaurant itself to see if they have availability. So this is basically in place of that. Instead of having to go to the restaurant and say, hey, do you have a table available? You can look for the walk-up wait list on My Disney Experience, and it'll say that the restaurant's available now, and you can just click the button, make a reservation, and there you go. I really hope that sticks around after this pandemic is over, because I think that's a really, really helpful tool for people who are in a park, really want to have a sit-down table service restaurant experience, but can't get a reservation anywhere. It'll be really nice to have those available now reservations right there. Another thing that's a little bit different about how I eat in Disney World right now is that you don't need to plan 6 months in advance anymore. Disney reduced their booking window for advanced dining reservations. You can only make reservations 60 days in advance now instead of 180 days. So you no longer have to know what you want to eat 6 months from now, but you do still have to know what you want to eat 2 months from now. So this lets you be a little more flexible in deciding when you're going to Disney World. Even if you only book your trip 3 months out, you won't have missed the opportunity to book those harder to get restaurants like Be Our Guest Restaurant or Cinderella's Royal Table. And because you have so much extra leeway and flexibility with restaurants at the moment, it's really, really possible to try a lot of new places at Disney World right now. And that's another way that I personally haven't really changed the way I eat, because you guys know I always eat at all the new places anyway, but it may change how you eat in Disney World. Now, lots of restaurants are still closed at Disney World, so that means our go-to favorites might not be available either. So take this as an opportunity to dine somewhere you haven't dined before or just haven't been to in a while. Ohana is still closed at the Polynesian Village Resort, and with all that construction ongoing into next year, it may be sometime before we can eat there again. So try Kona Cafe at the Polynesian or another restaurant on the monorail line like the Grand Floridian Cafe if you haven't been there. So there are hundreds of places to eat in Disney World, and now with extra flexibility with booking and also the walk-up wait list, and the fact that some of these places are still closed, so you might have to find replacements for your old standbys, this is a good opportunity to try a new spot. Next up, I never thought I would say this, but going to more buffets. That's something that I've been doing in Disney World when I've been there and when our reporters have been there. So buffets are usually lackluster in Disney World. I'm not going to lie. When they are compared to a la carte meals or meals that are made right there for you, buffets kind of pale in comparison. And because of that, I'm usually not a huge buffet fan. I go to them because we have to, but I don't love them in the same way that I love those a la carte options. But right now, buffets are not traditional buffets in Disney World. They've taken on different constructs. They're not all the same. Chef Mickey's, for example, is still an all-you-can-eat, but they bring all of the food to your table family style, and it actually got a big discount applied since the characters aren't there anymore. So now it's only $25 instead of the $42 it used to be. So that's a great deal, and I love Chef Mickey's at this point, which I never thought I would say. And then you've got some buffets like Hollywood and Vine, which just opened, that turned into an a la carte meal. So you get to choose one appetizer, one entree, one dessert from a basic menu, which is really cool, but it's not all you can eat anymore. Now it's just one instead of go to a buffet and fill your plate. So completely different style of meal, but actually really delicious. We really enjoyed it there. So the buffets are taking on different constructs, but they all seem to be better than they used to be as buffets. So I don't know. Well, does this mean that Disney's gonna not bring buffets back? Probably not. I'm sure that they will, but I really like the current constructs that we've got with buffets, so we'll see. So a few little changes and some extra planning overall can have a huge impact on your Disney World vacation, and things are really changed there in terms of how you eat and what you can expect. So with outdoor dining, walk-up, wait list options, to-go options from table service meals, there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now that I kind of hope continues to happen even after this pandemic is over. But we'll see. We'll see what guests say, if they enjoy it, and if Disney decides that that's financially worth keeping around. Now, those new tech updates like table service to go and the walk-up wait list, those have made it easier to keep your plans much more flexible, which is something that's more important than ever in regard to traveling nowadays. And because those parks are open shorter hours these days, you may need to be a little more flexible with your dining because you got to spend the time in the parks riding those rides. And while it might be a bummer to not be able to eat at the restaurant you always eat at every single Disney trip, it's kind of nice to try something new. So have you guys found any new tips for dining in the parks right now? We'd love to hear your comments. If you've been to Disney World or if you're going and you're hearing interesting things to try, let us know. Have you found a new go-to restaurant if your favorite is still closed? Again, we'd love to hear about it. So let us and our other viewers know in the comments your tips for eating at Disney World right now. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you want that list of outdoor dining, it's totally free. You don't have to sign up for our newsletter or anything for that one. That's just on the blog, and you can see it in the description of this video. As always, it's AJ from Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.